Well, good afternoon. What day is today? Thursday. I just got back from a ride. I've been getting ready to make this African peanut soup from the Plant-Based Warrior Woman's Cookbook. So I'm making a few changes to it, but pretty much I'm going to follow what she's got here. It's just my quantities never seem to be the same. So, she writes a little write-up each time. Well, hi, Susanna. Aren't you in the car? Aren't you guys driving back from Vancouver Island? I'm cooking. Hi, Jean. I'm cooking a soup from the Plant-Based Warrior Woman's Cookbook. Ta-da! I'm in love with this new cookbook. Hi, Gina. So I think I'm going to make every soup just for fun. I'm going to make every soup in this book because they all look so good. I can't decide. So I've already made the loaded vegetable soup with farro and beans. And I made the New Year's parsnip soup, which is absolutely scrumptious. Made that yesterday. So now I'm making the African peanut soup. I'm just going through the book. And I'm going to make the new Senate soup for the potluck on Sunday. So I'm all set here. And Steven's working on the drawers, so he might be coming through. You can see here, he's got 4 of them in, and he's on the third bay now. And he's fitting that just right so that they'll go along those slides. Isn't that cool? Such a talented man. So, and he's already started thinking about smile. You're on camera. He's already thinking about what he's going to do on this other side because of needing to get under the sink. So he's thinking maybe he's going to do timbres. So the timbres will open up and go around the corner of the middle cupboard. So that's going to be pretty interesting. He loves to take on a challenge. So I suppose I should turn on my stove here because I'm going to start caramelizing some onion and garlic. Gina, you think you would love to work with wood? Well, I love to watch Steven work with wood. Personally, I don't have the patience for it. So, Susanna, you've got the cookbook too? Only made 2 things out of it so far. One was a sweet potato dish and the other was Anne's short biscuits. Oh, well, yesterday I had the sludge left over from oat groat milk and soy milk. And I thought, this sludge tastes delicious. What could I make? And I've been wanting to make a corn muffin that's moist because the corn muffins seem to dry up so fast, once you cook them. So I thought, what about a corn muffin? And in this book, she's got her blueberry corn muffins. And I thought, boy, I'm going to use the sludge instead of oat flour. So that's what I did. And they turned out really good. So now I call them my sludge muffins because I'm using the oat groat and the soy groat sludge. And from now on, I'm going to freeze my sludge if I don't need muffins right away and use it to make muffins. So I invented something. Hey. Oh, man. I know. I'm all chefy. I actually from sludge. Okay. Here's my little workstation here. I'm going to try it on the stove today because Anne and Jane just don't do Instant Pots. So yesterday I did the Instant Pot. Today I'm going to do this pot. So she wants me to start with my onions in a large pot, heat 2 tablespoons of water, onion, celery, garlic, ginger, garlic, and cook. 2 tablespoons of water, huh? Well, I'll just use a little bit of broth. Ooh, too much. That's hot. Nice. I didn't think I had it on that long. Sorry, pot. I'm gonna ruin my pots here. So the onion, celery, carrots, ginger, and garlic. So already it's gonna smell wonderful. So I rode about 40 miles today, and I did a couple of videos on the bike, and I tried to put them on Instagram, but I don't know if they went or not. So we'll have to see. So garlic. And here's my garlic. Geez, Gina, you're still not testing negative? That is terrible. I didn't realize it would last so long. Let's grab my spatula. Here it is. So I got to show you my in pot. There it is. Day 10. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's a beautiful day here in the Northwest too, Gina. Glad to hear it's a beautiful day in Northern California. Hopefully Jennifer's got a beautiful day because she had pouring rain. Yes, tomorrow I probably will take myself for a bike ride because it's supposed to be even more beautiful tomorrow. And maybe a little picnic in the middle of the day. And then my friend Emmy, she's going to cook dinner tomorrow night. And she's making fruit cobbler for the birthday cake because she knows I make those fruit cobblers. And I don't know what she's making for the dinner. I think she might be making a form of shepherd's pie with sweet potatoes, but she knows what the rules are and she honors them. And if she puts anything in, it's that she wants to put a little bit of salt because she's a salt addict. But she'll tell me, and then I just don't eat that. Unless it's, a teaspoon of salt for the whole, I'll decide at the time. Sometimes I'm in the mood to have a little, and sometimes I'm not. Like today with this peanut soup, it calls for a third of a cup of peanut butter, so I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons. Yes, she knows the rules. Yes. And yes, I'm well known in these parts for being, the one that sticks to her guns. Like on the bike trips, I wouldn't go out to eat because I wanted to have my compliant dinner. So I'd much rather have my compliant dinner than go to a restaurant and be beholden to their rules and regulations and their people saying, oh, yes, we'll do it. And then they don't. I know if I say I'm going to do it, I do it. It's the best of my ability anyways. We can only do the best we can do, right? So, onion, celery, garlic, ginger, and onion, celery, carrot, ginger, and garlic until the onion becomes translucent and soft in about 4 minutes, and then stir in the curry powder till it covers everything. So, give it a little bit more time here. Are you on the boat, Susanna? Or are you waiting for the boat? Are you in Sawasan? Or no, you're on the island, so yes. Yes, I saw that, Susanna. Smart thinking. I mean, just the smell in those places would light up my dopamine receptors. Ah, yes, I love the ferry ride. So are you riding to Sawasan? Hey, Susanna, I gave Canada my business. I ordered my hi, Tracy Lynn from Perth, Australia. Duke Point to Sawasan. Yeah. from Janine Elder in Canada. Hi, Stephanie. Skinny bitch. It's my skinny bitch t-shirt. I figured I for my birthday, I'm getting myself some skinny bitch t-shirts since I feel kind of like a bitch these days. I'm mean. Okay, this looks like it's ready for some curry. So I'm going to sprinkle the curry, and you're supposed to cover everything with it. Ooh, and the smell, of course, you guys know what that smell is like when the curry hits the air. Oh, and, you know, the hot vegetables. Okay, so now I'm going to add the broth and the sweet potatoes and the tomatoes. And I didn't have a tomato, so I'm just putting in a can of diced tomatoes. So this broth, I just made a whole bunch of broth yesterday. So that's what the broth is from. And then I chopped up just the regular orange sweet potato. And then a tomato. And then I think I'm supposed to bring it to a boil. Yeah. So I'm going to bring it to a boil. So I'm going to turn it up again. But at least there's something in the pot now. Hi, Mary. She says, hi, skinny bitch. Said with total respect, and hi to everyone else. Yes. And I also got her one where she's got the vegetables on the front, and it's something about destruction, fat destruction. Weapons of fat destruction, I think. I thought that was cute. So I got a long sleeved, and I got a workout shirt. I think I got one other one. Stephen was encouraging me. We could encourage each other to spend money on ourselves. So I thought, oh, what the heck. You know, with my clothes, I use all Emma's clothes because she grew out of them because she got so skinny. So then I inherited her clothes. So I haven't bought any for myself in my new sizes. So I don't even know what size. I got mediums because I was too scared to get a small. And they're cotton, so they're going to shrink anyway. So I think that'll work. I mean, they might be a little bit big at first, but then they'll shrink with the with the clothes washing. I hope, if they're too big. So, has anybody talked to Jennifer yet? I touched base with her this morning, but she'll be having her first solid food here at 5. Yeah. Well, Susanna, you're pretty small. So, you know, you're small and you're long. I don't know. I'll see. But there's mediums and then there's mediums, I guess. I don't know. So, how's Jennifer doing, Gina? Okay, we got this simmering. And so we're going to reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. So I've got some people that are coming to the potluck. Oh, hey, Tracy, thanks. It's the 17th already in Perth. Oh, well, tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be online because I might be out on my bike because it's supposed to get up to 60 degrees tomorrow. So that's good. Jenny did not like the juice at all. She had a really hard time drinking it. So I hope that the raw food is better. Poor kid. How awful, you know, to have your first calories and you just don't even like them. You can hardly even get them down. There's just something wrong there. So let's see, where's my phone? I should time myself here. Let's give it, say, doesn't need, it's already been simmering there. So let's say, I don't know, 12 minutes maybe. Oops, going the wrong way. So there's a couple of things that I want to make. I want to make those cinnamon buns that are, thanks, Jean. Cinnamon buns that are good for your buns. No, Gina. No, raw food first. You go from, first of all, she didn't even need broth. I had to have broth to make it through my 5th day. Then it's juice. I mean, you don't have to have broth, but it sure got me through the 5th day. But she's tough, man. She made it through the whole, whatever she needed to do. I think she was doing well, better on no food than this darn juice. So anyways, you do so many days of juice. She did a day and a half. And then now for dinner, you can have the raw food. But there's a couple of raw foods that they don't want you to have. They eat like onion. You don't want to do onion. There was citrus. They don't want you to do citrus. So I think she's going to do a day and a half of raw. And then you can do the cooked, steamed vegetables. And then the starchy vegetables, potatoes. And then I can't remember which was first, beans or grains, but there's one and then the other. And then you're back to full eating, whatever Chef Bravo makes. So it's a process, the refeed. Now with us, it was half days because we only lasted 5-6 days. So the first half of the day was, trying to think if we went right from, I think we juiced a whole day and then we went raw in the morning and then steamed in the afternoon. And then by the next day, the end of the next day, we were eating just about everything. I think anything cooked, Gina, is tougher than raw because raw is more nutrient dense and alive. And as soon as you start cooking things, it's harder. In fact, I noticed that immediately when I went raw for 6 weeks. I had so much energy, and as soon as I started eating cooked food again, it took more. You could feel the body having to work harder to digest it. Yeah, that is kind of interesting that you would think because it's partially processed that it would be easier. That's interesting. Yeah. Here, you guys might want to have a look at this. It's pretty good. Pretty darn good. Nice thick sauce. I love my broth. I don't even strain my broth. That's why it looks so thick. I figure the more the merrier. The more whole of everything. So I don't put things in it that I don't want to eat. Yeah, Stephanie, I went 100% raw for 6 weeks, just as an experiment. I actually, my friend Emma, she was having some issues, so I said, "Hey, let's go raw. Let's see if that'll help it. I'll go with you. I'll support you." So she lasted about a week and a half, and I enjoyed it so much that I went 6 weeks. The only thing is it was last, I don't know, December, January, so it was pretty cold, and I was still adjusting to being so skinny, and I was just cold all the time. Now I notice my body is adjusting, and I'm not freezing cold like I was. Today on the ride, I wasn't as bundled up as I was all last year. Even all through the summer, I was wearing the hand warmers in my gloves. I mean, I just was cold all the time. So maybe I'll try it again this summer because one thing's for sure. I mean, I dropped 5 pounds when I went raw. So it's definitely harder to get the calories because, well, you don't eat the grains and beans. I mean, you can have the sprouted lentils, and I was eating sprouted lentils, but they're just so much lighter than when you cook them. And plus, with raw, you notice that when you cook the raw, it compacts it so much. You can eat so much more cooked than raw. I mean, you can shoot till the cows come home with raw, and you don't get volume down like you can with cooked, but it feels like you are. I mean, I paid for Lissa's $5 a week. Oh, yes. Okay, Susanna. She says if she vanishes, it's because they're out in the open water on the ferry and may lose your Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's so true. But I can't remember what I was saying. Something about raw. But oh yeah, I was using Lissa's menus, and she's so reasonable. $5 a month, and she gave me 30 days of breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I wanted it. Yeah, Lissa and Nate, Lissa. Yeah. Did I say something? Did I not? Did I say Nissa? Because a lot of times I say that by mistake. But she has wonderful dressings, and I got her dips and dressings book, and I will make mustard with it as soon as I run out of mustard, which is going to be a while because I had just gotten a whole box of the salt-free mustard because I was using it in the Brussels sprout recipe and going through it so fast, and then I sort of moved on to other combinations of vegetables, and so it sits there. Oh, right. Thanks, Susanna. I do that quite a bit. I forget what I was saying if I stop and say hello to somebody, but it's just so fun to see people come on, all my girls. So got about 5 minutes here. I'm watching the sweet potatoes. There, I'm interested in getting them to cook. So once they soften, I'm imagining that's why. So I want to make the banana cream pie that AJ made yesterday. And I want to make the cinnamon buns are good for your buns. And there was one other thing. Oh, that cake. That starch cake. Yeah. But I like making these soups. And so if I make a dessert and we haven't finished it yet, then I'll hold off till I make the next dessert. And sometimes we just like to have fresh fruit in between. So, but the cinnamon buns, I've been wanting to make them for a long time. So I definitely want to make those. So actually, I could start. I wonder if I have everything for those. Let me grab that recipe and see here. I had it out the other day from the last time that I copied it, and I never did make it. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm gonna try it. So I need oats, milk, bananas, dates, baking powder. Oh yeah, I was waiting for the baking powder. I got the aluminum and the sodium-free baking powder, and I need to wait for that to come in the mail. Ooh, so Susanna's made the cinnamon buns, and the frosting is perfect. Okay. Well, okay. Did you make it with regular baking powder, or did you use that sodium aluminum free? Because it's 2 tablespoons, so that'd be a lot of salt. So that's why I was going to wait. But I've got everything else. And then for the icing, 2 roasted peeled Hannah yams, date paste. Usually for date paste, I just do some dates. I soak them and then blend them, and they work out just fine. Because if I make date paste, I can't use it all. Yeah, I'll wait. Okay. Yeah, because 1 teaspoon is 1,200 milligrams of salt. So a tablespoon would be times 3. So that would be 36. That'd be a lot of sodium. Yeah. Yeah. And then she uses the Deglet Nord dates. Oh, I've got Deglet Nords, so I can use those for the actual buns. So there's that one, and then the banana cream looks amazing. So maybe I wonder if that one's got baking powder in it. I copied that off. I've got that somewhere. Let me see. I just found that out about the baking powder and the baking soda when I was at the potluck last Sunday. Charlie pulled me aside. The banana cream pie recipe, I can send it to you, It's in the challenge. I think it's not yesterday, but the day before. Let me see if I've got it over here. Yeah, here it is. This is, oh yeah, and she's got a video where she's showing how she makes it too, which is fun to watch. But it's 1.5 cups of rolled oats, cinnamon, Hadley organic dates, henna yam, 6 ripe bananas, vanilla powder, and blueberries optional. And she makes that oatmeal date crust. So she puts in the oatmeal, puts in just a handful of dates, and starts to process it in the food processor. And then she wants it to get to that certain texture that she calls. Oh, you've missed the challenge. Okay. Right. You were so crazy busy. Okay. So she makes the crust and then she puts yam on top and then bananas on the yam or no. She says add henna yam, remaining bananas and vanilla powder into the processor. Add the mixture to the pie. So anyways, I'm going to have to watch the video. I just started watching it. So I got to watch it. So I want to make that. And then that starch cake is in there too. I think the starch cake was Petra's. Ah, yes. Yes. Things hopefully will settle down now and you can have a chance to get your breath. Very good. Okay. So this 15 minutes, it's been cooking and the sweet potato doesn't seem done. Let me see how much longer it's going to cook when I add stuff. Oh, okay. It's gonna cook for longer. Reduce the heat. Add the peanut butter, beans, and oat milk and simmer for about. Oh, I was supposed to. Let's see. Bring to a boil. Reduce the heat to medium low. Oh, and then add the peanut butter, beans, and oat milk. Okay, so we gotta add the rest of this stuff. So, like I said, I'm just using 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. It may not be enough, but it's as much as I'm willing to use right now. So, because I'd rather eat more volume. But it'd be nice if it had a little bit of peanut butter flavor. But if it doesn't, oh well, I tried. Because I think this soup would be good without peanut butter too. So there's that. And then I've got beans. And this is 15 ounces of black beans. I don't use PB2 ever so far because it's a processed food. And, here we make all these complaints about people that they take all the ingredients out of something and then we do it ourselves. So I'm like, no, if I'm going to eat peanut butter, I'm going to eat the whole food and just have it in the amounts where it's not unhealthy for me or it doesn't put weight on or I'll just skip it. So I haven't given into the PB. For me, it might be a slippery slope. For others, it might be, I'm sure it's fine. But I don't want to get into that habit of using a processed food. Okay, and then 1/2 cup of oat milk. Let me make sure that's supposed to go in. Yep. And then we're supposed to, look at how nice and thick that oat milk is. Oh, man, it is so good. I'm just going to put a little water in there and get all that wonderful milk. Waste not, want not, huh? Oh, man. All right. I think this is going to be good. Sorry you guys can't see in the pot. I will work on that. I was looking at a selfie, a tripod yesterday, but it has the quad lock on it. And I don't have a quad lock. I do have a thing on the back of my phone though. This is a life-proof attachment. Yes, Susanna, it is It is defatted, so it would be lower in calorie density, definitely. Yes, danger zone. Yes, I don't know if it is because I just haven't had it since 2020. But we shall see here. I think if it's a danger zone to have it in the house. I mean, this peanut butter that I've had, it's been in the refrigerator for 2 years. I don't even think about it. So it's I don't know if it would be a trigger, but if I ever got into it and couldn't stop, then forget it. It would never be in my house again. It's not worth it. Okay, so I just need to wait for the sweet potato to cook. And that is it. Simmer for 15 minutes. Well, it's not simmering, so I'm going to turn it back up a little bit. So then with an immersion blender, I pulse the soup so it's half creamy and half textured. And then garnish with cilantro and serve. So that will work. Yes, PB2. If I was in weight loss mode, I wouldn't even use PB2. I wouldn't use either one. Just stay away from peanut butter until you've lost that weight. Get the darn weight off first. And actually, notice Chef AJ, she didn't have much of anything until her dessert class. She said that she just did when did that start, Susanna? In November, December, and now she's having more treats. But for me, it's been over a year, and I'm just starting to see experiment a little bit with things. But I got to my 100 in December of 2021, so all of 2022, I just stayed left of the red line and just stayed maintained for the first time in my life. So Susanna says the kids have peanut butter, so for me, PB2 works for now. Maybe when I grow up, I'll be able to condiment responsibly, but until then, peanut butter is a no-go for me. I hear you, Susanna. It might be for me too. We shall see. So what's September to December 2022? Jessie! Hey, thanks for the recipes, Jess. And is that Indian recipe from the Indian gal that gave us the class? Because I took that too, and it looked very familiar. And I haven't made that yet, so I'm going to make that. I'll make that on a video. And I made a YouTube about the e-bike today, you guys, and I tried to put it on Instagram. And I'll see how do you get it from your phone to YouTube? I would like to put it on YouTube. Yes, Gina says, Chef AJ went many years before she let up at all. That is so true. Oh, the dessert course. Yes, Susanna, thanks. Dessert course. Wow, started way back in September. Man, crazy. These potatoes are still, oh no, maybe they're, well, maybe I better try one here. Let's see. Get it work. And a knife. Let's see if these are done. They don't feel done to me. Yeah, it's not done. Which it makes sense. I mean, how would it cook in 15 minutes? It's a sweet potato. I'm going to get the immersion blender. Steven's got all my kitchen stuff. course, Steven has everything that I had in these cupboards. He's got it all piled over there, so I can't get to anything. Hey, Jesse, look at this. Look at this, Jess. Oh, you can't see it. 4 drawers are done, but there's too much light there. And he's working on the last bay on this side. Isn't that cool? See how he's got the glides in there? So those 2 glides, and he's making the boxes right now. I'm so excited. But then I gotta wait for him to finish them before I says I'm not putting anything in there until you're done. So he's just stacked it all. I have to climb over to get to things. My sweet potatoes. Okay, well, in the recipe it says 1-inch pieces. So that's that big. So I don't know, maybe some of them are bigger than that, Susanna. I'm not sure. But yeah, that might be it. I should have done them a little bit smaller. That's right, Jesse. I don't want to fill them up just to have to empty them again. But I'm so excited. Fortunately, he is too, because he's just, he's obsessed with doing the next one. So it's great. I don't disturb him. I tell him, come on in, work away. We won't care. He can work with us in here. But he's building boxes right now. So I think he was in here most of the morning while I was out riding. So that worked really well. I'll get out of his hair tomorrow too if it's really nice. It's just beautiful out there right now. The tide's out. The herons are back. They disappeared for a while, but now they're here, and in the by next month they'll be roosting up in the evergreens, and they just float around on the tops of the trees and squawk, and they're just so amazing, all these birds. And then the geese have paired up, and they'll start having their babies next month. And then pretty soon they'll be bringing their babies around. They disappear. The moms disappear, and the dads just stand watch. It's amazing how they know what to do. And then they bring their kids around, and they love our yard because we've got a little source of a fresh water spring. And so they come and they drink the water, and it's just so cool. Yes, Jesse, it is hard to get used to all the sunshine. It seems like overnight the clocks change, but it seems like it stays late until 8 o'clock at night. From getting dark at 5, all of a sudden it's light until 8 o'clock. How does that happen? How does that happen? I don't know. So I don't know, Susanna. I guess I can't measure an inch. But they're cooking. They're getting there. Next time I'll do them smaller. Because the carrots are smaller, and I think they're cooked. Let me try to stick a carrot. Yeah, the carrot's cooked enough. Well, the sweet potatoes are getting there. I'll point you to here, but you can't see what I'm doing anyways. But I'm just, see, they don't slide off. The electrician put a little outlet right here, and I just love it because I can plug in right there, and like for the blender right now, and plug it in, and this is my Vitamix blender. It works really well. Yes, Jesse, the time change happened. And it's definitely much darker in the morning. I don't know if this outlet can handle the blender and the computer. So if you guys disappear, I'll know that it didn't work. But we'll give it a couple more minutes here. So let me know if you guys see my my Instagram on the bike because I tried to make a bike video for you guys, and I will try to get it on YouTube. And Jesse, maybe you can help me figure out how do I get it from my phone to YouTube. Maybe on my phone I bring it to YouTube. Maybe I go to YouTube on the phone and upload it, huh? Duh. Let me see. I don't know if I can do that at the same time as being on YouTube. Looks like YouTube doesn't have a create here. Well, create a show. Oh, upload a video. Cool. There it is. There's my videos from today. So how do I know how to do that? I'll work on it. Cool. Well, I smell peanut butter, so something's going on here. And it's looking kind of peanut buttery here. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Yum. Yes, I was on the bicycle and I turned the camera on and I showed you Pearson Point as I was riding along and Scandia, the whole neighborhood that I live around. So you went on a little bit of a ride with me after I finished with the group. And then I showed you my bike and I described what Stephen and I did to buy a bike, that kind of thing. And then things you want to look for. So I thought that would be a springboard to start. And then you can let me know if there's things that I missed and other things that you want to find out about. Okay, so I'm going to try to immersion blend this. Oh, you saw it. Oh, good, Stephanie. Okay, great. Some of it's not too great, but I'm still learning. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little, it's pretty creamy already, so I'm not going to do a lot of this. And, whoops. Oh, there's my time is up. Whoop, whoop. Hey, stop that. I turned the burner off, so. Oh man, this looks good. So yeah, I creamed it up a little bit. I'll show you in a minute here. Let me scrape all this good stuff off. I should have my apron on, Susanna, because it's popping. I don't know, my burner seems to be going a little bit crazy. Boy, that looks really good. And it smells really good. Okay. So let's plate a little bit of this. Is Karen here? Karen, that was awesome yesterday. Your member spotlight, man, thank you so much. What an inspiration, girl. Wow. So I'm making African peanut soup here. And I'm going to plate up a little bit. And we'll see how it tastes. I won't do too much because it's getting near dinner time. Oh my gosh, it's 5 to 5, you guys. It's dinner time. Well, I can just have a bite and then save the rest of it for dinner. Oh, you guys did squats. Or did Karen do squats? Just got done with our workout with Angela. Oh, cool. So can you walk? Are your legs shaking? I'm going to get some cilantro here. Get some cilantro. for some garnish. Oh, there it is. Peanut soup. Get a spoon. Forgot all about Angela. Mmm. I don't taste any peanut butter, but it's good soup. Yeah, Jesse, have you been doing your exercises? It just made me think. I do 60 squats, 3 sets. So 180 squats every other day. I love doing squats. And then I do 60 lunges on each leg, 3 sets. So 180 on each. So 360. You got to have strong legs for bicycling. Tracy Lynn asked, do I try to eat early? Tracy Lynn, when it got dark at 5, I could eat at 5. But then when we were remodeling, it was tough to do that because Edgar would work here until 5. And then we'd go on our walk. So, but then we'd eat as soon as we got back. So it'd be about 6. Now that it's light out as long as it is, Stephen and I just keep doing stuff. So we've been eating, anywhere between 6 and 8. And, I've tried several times to eat earlier. And I think as we get older, we will. But we're just so active right now. I can't tell if there's any peanut butter in there or not. But I only have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter in here. But, sometimes when you first have your soup, it needs to sit for a while. So the flavors might come out as it sits. But it is a nice, thick, hot, warm, tasty soup. How can you go wrong with the combination of stuff that was in it? Oh, peanuts instead of peanut butter. You mean just throw whole peanuts in, Jesse? Like when you're serving it so that they don't get all squishy? Peanuts are legumes, you guys know. That's what I did, Gina. I just put enough to make it creamy, which it's nice and creamy. It's very delicious soup. I might just make it without peanut butter. I don't think it needs peanut butter. Chop them up and cook them in the soup? Well, in the South, we would eat peanuts that were cooked. And they don't taste anything like peanut butter. Blaming the soup makes it creamy. Yeah, I think this would be creamy enough without any peanut butter. Because I only put 2 tablespoons in it. And I mean, look at how creamy it is. I don't remember if I showed it, but that's pretty darn creamy. I don't think that's creamy from just 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Yeah, I mean, peanuts are like the if you're going to have a nut, have a good nut like almonds, pecans, walnuts. But I don't think I'd go out and just buy peanuts. They're like the junk food of nuts. And just as much fat and calories. Yeah, walnuts. That'd be good. So there you go. That's the African peanut soup. Now Sunday, I'm going to make the Senate soup, which Gina said you say you've had that and you love it. I don't have navy beans, so I'm going to probably use pintos. But look at this new Senate soup. They call it the new Senate soup because they've modified it to be plant-based, of course. But that looks amazing. So I thought, I got to take that to the potluck. It's got beans in it and Yukon Gold potatoes, celery and onions and garlic and pepper and black beans and parsley, curly kale, hot sauce. I mean, I got to take it with me. And I'm getting some interest from the local group that I have. So I got 80 some people on my pod on Facebook, but most aren't local. So I started oh, hi Susanna. You lost Wi-Fi there for a while. I was just saying I'm going to make the new Senate soup out of the Warrior cookbook for the Sunday potluck, and I've got this local group, which is about between 20 and 30 people, because a bunch more people have signed on, and there's a whole bunch that are interested, but they're not committing to going. So I don't know if they're actually going to come or not, but I'm encouraging them to come, and I hope they do. Yes. Yes. Isn't it fun to have Karen here? She just did such a wonderful, wonderful spotlight. I just was so inspired. I just love it when anybody does a spotlight, because it's just one step more to hear a person's story and all that we've been through. Karen, you have been through, you and Susanna, my gosh, you two are, talk about warrior women. We're all warrior women, aren't we? What a great thing to name the cookbook. Oh, so one was on a slant with the heels at the top and the feet off the board. We did sumo squats that were bringing the back to a 90-degree angle, and then lateral squats. Susanna, Janet, I need to send you a picture of an area in my kitchen where we are having a contractor install some open shelving like yours for my big whole food plant exclusive toys and appliances. Yes. And here's another thing. So we've got the shelf with the appliances up there. Then, with this, of course, these legs get in my way. So he says he's going to put a shelf down there, a part shelf, so I can stick stuff on that shelf. And then up here, he's going to put a shelf across so I can put all my cookbooks. Because we want to try to get rid of this shelving case here. If we can get rid of that, and both refrigerators are going to go next to each other, because I need access to the refrigerators. And so it's getting there. It's getting there. We'll keep putting it together. Yes. Yes, I know you do, Susanna. Definitely. Of course, you try to do your best. I'm just learning how to be honest, no matter what. And I do a terrible job sometimes, but I guess it's just important that I stick up for myself. So, oh, good. You got a shelf for your cookbooks too. Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be great. We'll just make it our little plant-based exclusive kitchens. Hey, Jesse, aren't you serious about this? Are you working out? Start small, and then just build on it. Jesse need another kitchen for her cookbooks. Oh, no. How many do you have? So, Jesse, you're not doing your exercises. Oh, my gosh. Well, when you can't do it, you can't do it. And then one day you just start. You need some sort of motivation. That's right, Susanna. No one else will love my kitchen shelves except for us. That's for sure. Yes, yes. Shelves and selves, definitely. Yes, Jesse, that's the thing. And when you don't have a lot that you can do yet, it's hard to do it because you just think, oh, what's the use, But do it. I mean, I started with nothing. I just started with like 1 pound weights. So you don't have to start with a lot, and just it's easier. Enjoy that it's so easy to get it done when you're first starting. It takes 5 minutes. Gina, great. But you got to wait till you're not negative, or wait till you are negative, right? So, when are we going to do a Zoom? We need to, you know, figure out when we're going to do that, because then I can set it up. And how do I set it up so that you guys know? Because you got to get an invitation. You'd have to give me I think I'd have to email it. Jesse, you would have ideas. How do I do that? Gina, I'm a physical therapist, and I have loved working out my whole life. So I had stopped doing my arms because I was doing so much riding, when we were doing our perimeter tour. And when I got back, everything was flabby. And I like my arms to be nice and strong. So again, Emma she had a surgery, and she was having difficulties getting her function back in her hands and her wrists. So I said, well, let's do a challenge. I just happened to see this challenge on the computer. I can't even remember where it was. I don't think it was on Instagram or anything. But it was to work your way up to, start with 10 of something and work your way up to 100 over the course of however many days. And I said, well, let's do a challenge. Let's just do our own challenge, to where we start with a number, whatever it is we can do, and then you try to increase the number by 1 each time you do them. And if you can't, then you just keep doing what you're doing until you can increase by 1. And son of a gun, like in 30 days, I'd worked up to 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. And then I thought I should add squats and lunges. So I started adding the squats and lunges, and, again, just starting with 3 of them maybe, and then working my way up to 10, and then another set. You just start feeling strong. And like, I've been doing this leg extension machine that Stephen picked up. Stephen always picks these things up, and then I use them. He doesn't even use it at all. He doesn't use any of the weights or anything, but he bought most of them. And so it started out, there was 2 25-pound weights were all that we had, because they were there the day that we got it at the Goodwill. And so I worked my way up to the first 25-pound weight. And then I put the second 25-pound weight on, and that jumps it from 25 pounds to 50 pounds. So I had to really back off on the number that I did. But now I'm doing 3 sets of the 50-pound weight. And I just keep working at it. So I think it's fun. Okay, so let me catch up here. Susanna, Jan, I'm having trouble fitting working out into my busy days with the family. Yes, I can understand that. And you know what? But just get your bike rides in. That's okay. That's awesome that you give yourself that. Gina, so you worked out even when you were heavy. Yeah, but I mean, I was 40, 50 pounds overweight. And in fact, I was the heaviest in those heaviest ranges when I left my first husband, because I tried to eat my way out of the marriage. And so those years, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And it was at 30 that I stopped dieting. And then I stopped binging. And then the weight that upper weight came down to like 160, 150. So I could still work out. I mean, I played soccer and of course rode my bike. And so that 150, 160 pounds got pretty firm. But yeah, I mean, I would work out, and then things would come up, like I say, I was doing that bike ride. So I didn't have my weights. I didn't have my gym. And so when I did the 2014, 2015 tour, I wasn't doing push-ups and sit-ups. Once I did that challenge with Emma, I've always done push-ups and sit-ups. If I go on a ride and I don't have any weights or anything, I'll still do the push-ups and sit-ups every morning. So I won't have as much to do, but I'll do it every day rather than every other day. And when the weights were really light, I did it every day because my body just didn't need time to recover. So as the weights get heavier, then I give myself a rest day. And since I've gotten lighter, when I was heavier, I really didn't need a rest day. I guess I had so much tissue, but now I do it every other day, and that seems to work out. So you just have to adjust to what it is that's going on in your life. But I always do something. So Jean says, if you don't use your muscles, you will lose them. Then life is very hard. Well, and I'll tell you another thing that we learned in the research is, for instance, your hip muscles. Like when you sit cross-legged, or the muscles that you use to allow you to do a split, they'll turn to connective tissue. I mean, we don't do splits functionally, and so that muscle that when we're little we can do a split, it turns to connective tissue, and that's why we can't do splits when we get older. So it is a process that goes on in the body, that your tissues will they'll shift, they'll deteriorate. They even found with cartilage and ligament, you can turn a cartilage into a ligament if you pull on it, the tensile stretch. You can turn a ligament into cartilage if you compress it. So cartilage loves compression. So definitely biking and walking, they're good. Exercise is good. Now, so you're struggling to keep up with your physio exercises for your back with Eileen. I feel like a dismal failure that I can't heal my back. Well, and that's why I try not to give a bunch of exercises to busy people. I try to give one thing because it's just too hard to do them. I mean, it's better to build in what you're doing to help yourself. And again, it's better to just take away the things that are aggravating the back, because you've already got enough in your life. The thing with you, Susanna, is you need to take time out for yourself. Like me, okay, I'm the last one that I want to give, what I give everyone else. And I need to give it to me first. We need to learn to give ourselves the oxygen mask first, no matter what. And that's what I'm figuring out with this whole plan is I've got to put me first. And it's not easy. And you feel like crap, That's why I'm getting skinny bitch t-shirts, because I've not been conditioned to be this way my whole life. My whole life, it's always, give up what I want because everybody else is more important, or I don't even know if you could call it more important, but they're just important, and we're women and we care about people, and we sacrifice ourselves for other people. It's sort of cellular. It's built into us. So, and we feel worse if we take care of ourselves because, I'm being so selfish and self-centered, and how can I be so mean, that kind of thing. So, but I mean, part of it is I'm so bad at it that I'm terrible at doing, at giving myself what I need. So, and it shocks people when I do it because I do a terrible job, and I usually don't, I'm just usually quiet, and you can always talk to me, and you can always come to me. And, meanwhile, Janny doesn't get a word in edgewise, except for once in a while, somebody will let me tell him something. So anyway, it turns out that it becomes one-sided, and I just feel like there's no more in me. And of course, that's not the way anybody would want me. So yes, Susanna, bike rides are sacred. Nobody messes with Mama's bike rides. That's great to at least have one place where we say, that's it. I need this for myself. Jean, yes. That's why I can't do them very well. Yeah. Jesse, Susanna, Janet is so right. Karen, Lisa Huck works the fascia system like Eileen. Yes. Susanna, it's a good thing that your bike rides take you out of the house where you're not at the beck and call of the whole family. Yes. That is so true. Susanna, you're way too doing everything for them. And I know it's in your conditioning, but it's what you do. So I'm glad I don't have kids because, when I even had animals, I felt awful leaving them. I don't think I could leave kids. So, and my job, I was traveling every month. So I had to leave. And it's the kind of thing where, I was heartbroken to leave. But then once I got out of the house, I was excited about where I was going and what I was going to be doing. It's just that shift from being home and, you know, having everything that you're used to, and then getting in the car or getting on the transporter and or walking to the bus, whatever it is. So, and then it's just so much fun to get out there and explore and experience the world and see you guys. I can't wait for JP's thing in May. That is going to be cool. He just is one of the most compassionate men I've ever run into. So I'm pretty excited about going there, and Jennifer's going to go, and um, it'll be fun. I hope we can share a room, or maybe we shouldn't, because I don't. My nights are so highly variable. Sometimes I sleep and sometimes I don't. Oh my gosh, I've been on here over an hour. Listen, hey, I should let you guys go. So I'm not sure if I'll be on tomorrow, but I will be on Sunday morning because I got to make the soup, the Senate soup for the potluck. And I might make some more of my sludge muffins too. So I actually might have to make those tomorrow because I got to take some to Emma. She's got to experience this. Thanks, Jesse. It's fun for me too. I just really enjoy everybody. So say goodnight, you guys. I have such a hard time saying goodbye. But I'll be back and look forward to seeing you guys. All right. Take care. Good night.